you understand what's going on here, how you can't trust any of this or any of them? We have a corrupt, elitist government that has no contact with the American people whatsoever. And if it wasn't for us in talk radio, you'd be a bunch of slaves. You'd be a bunch of slaves. And I'm going to tell you something else. Talk radio is the last bastion of free speech in the media. Everything else is owned lock, stock, and barrel by a corporate structure that answers to another corporate structure that answers to yet another corporate structure. And I'm going to tell you something else. You should enjoy this show and others in talk radio because you're listening to the last years of talk radio and free speech in the United States of America. I can guarantee you that the Republicans and the Democrats alike will snuff out this medium as sure as I am sitting here. They will put an end to it. They do not want the light of scrutiny passed upon any of their corruption, any of their shenanigans. They don't want the light of public opinion shining upon their corruption. And we in talk radio don't answer to Rupert Murdoch. We don't answer to CBS. We don't answer to ABC. We don't answer to NBC. We don't answer to Fox News. We answer to nobody. We answer only to the truth. We answer only to the Statue of Liberty. We are, in fact, the Statue of Liberty in the United States of America. And make no mistake about it. Just as the Islamists would like to see freedom of speech snuffed in America, so do the Democrats and so do the Republicans. They would love to rape you financially. They would love to rob you financially. They would love to hoodwink you until you have nothing left. And if it wasn't for us in talk radio, holding their feet to the fire, shining a light of truth upon their lives, as I try to do on a daily basis, we'd have nothing but slaves in this country. And that's why I say, enjoy every word you hear on this show while you can hear it. Enjoy every word you can hear on every other independent talk show in the United States of America, whether it be a national one or a local one, because you're not going to hear it for very long. I can guarantee you're listening to the end of freedom of speech in this country. When I hear Bush, when I hear Dole, when I hear Clinton, when I hear Obama, when I see McCain, and I see the handwriting on the wall, I am telling you to enjoy every minute of this and other programs in talk radio because it's not going to be around too much longer. That's my opinion. So now I'm focusing on Africa. Bush says he's going to cut $18 billion worth of unnecessary spending. In the same breath, or next breath, he says, I call on you to double our commitment to fighting HIV/AIDS in Africa with an additional $30 billion over 5 years. Now remember, that's in addition to the $15 billion he already committed to Africa. He wants to throw another $30 million down the rat hole. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Here is a president totally out of control, out of touch with reality. Our currency has probably diminished in value by 30% since he took office. Okay, do I have to spell it all out for you? But he's going to print more money to give it to Africa? What? Why? Answer, because it's not really going to Africa. Don't you understand that? See, something you don't understand about foreign aid in general that took me 20 years to finally comprehend is that it's really only shadows on the wall that you're watching. You're not actually seeing what's on the other side of the wall. Let's say 30 billion more goes to Africa. How much do you think comes back to contributors to the political parties in this country? Like all of it? Let's say 50% of it, 80% of it, 90% of it. They set up NPOs in Africa. They're American companies. They set up NPOs in Africa. They get the $30 billion to dispense, and most of it goes into their pockets. And it's the same with foreign aid. When you say, well, Israel gets $7 or $8 billion a year in foreign aid, it's a lot of money. Maybe it's more now. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really go to Israel. It goes to U.S. weapons manufacturers. In that sense, I'm almost for it. But I'd rather see the weapons go into the hands of our Air Force and into the hands of our troops. That's what I'd like to say. Okay? And as far as Israel goes, yes, I'm in favor of Israel surviving, but it's time Israel tightened its belt. It's time Israel got on its own 2 feet. It's been 60 years of being dependent on the U.S., and we can't afford it anymore. And if Israel's a viable nation state, she will forge new alliances, and she will survive just as well without us. She can go to India, for example, who she just launched a rocket with, the Indian rockets, a satellite, and she could forge an alliance with India, and the Indian government, which is rolling in money, can give Israel money for weaponry. We don't have to do it. But the reason you're not going to see a cutback of foreign aid to Israel or to Egypt is quite simple. Because the lobbyists in Washington on K Street make sure that this funding is an entitlement. It's as much an entitlement as Social Security or Medicare is. Do you understand that? It's a lifetime dependence like a monkey on our back. We can't afford it anymore. So don't think I'm just blasting the money to Africa. I'm also talking about the money to Israel, the money to Egypt, the money to every other country on the planet. We can't afford it. It's no longer the Marshall Plan. You know what I mean? The Berlin Wall didn't just come down. We're not flying goods into Germany anymore. Soon they'll be flying food into our country if we let these jackals continue to pick us clean.